Good morning. So, I was thinking earlier about that saying in the Bible, the first come last and the last come first. As a kid, that never made sense because I thought, I don't get it was like a reward system, right? Of course, this is a kid's mindset thinking of something huge like the Bible. So, when you think about the first comes last and the last comes first, it it makes sense in the concept of the first one in the door is going to go to the back of the room, so you're going to come last. But if you think of it more so in the concept of your blessings, right? So there are certain aspects of who we are in this society, and we are on different levels of what we do as individuals. Try to stick with me through this. Not saying anyone is lesser than anyone else, but in the sense that the ones that step up and gimme, 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 the last per se. I want this, give me that, I deserve this, I. All about themselves, right? So to me, this correlates as you're the last, so I'm going to serve you first. Because you waited in line so long to get to the front of the line. But also at the same time, if you consider this concept, you waited so long, did you remain patient? Did you remain grounded? Did you lose faith? Did you start making deals with the wrong people? Of just let me through. I just want to get through. Just, can I finally get what I want? Because you can get bitter waiting on blessings. I've watched a lot of people do it. You can have a lot of people that think they deserve more than what they've earned or worked for. So essentially, when you gimme, 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 I want. I don't care what you're giving me. When it comes down to that, you get what you ask for, right? Which could be the thing that was there from the very beginning while you were waiting at the back of the line. So you finally made it to the front, but now you're taking the spoiled fruits. Whereas there's a new crop growing as you begin to go back the other way. Like I said, try to stick with me through this. Because it all started making sense to me this morning about the first come last and the last come first. So as you waited and that fruit spoiled, those dreams that didn't seem to come to fruition fast enough are still what you're going to get, what you've accepted. But understandably, there's this placement that I don't want to call it a ranking system, but it's almost based off of, like I said, did you stay grounded? Did you stay faithful to yourself? Were you honest with individuals? Did you put forth the hard work? Did you get to know yourself? Now understand there's variables of while you're waiting. The more bitter you become, let me scoot you up to the front. But it doesn't mean you're even going to get through the door. Because it also, if you add in, you needed a certain something to get through the door, right? Just like where they had to have their oil, their to anoint the anointed one. And the one woman that forgot hers had to go back, and she missed out because she forgot. Nobody was going to share theirs. Nobody was going to come up short. She forgot to put forth the one thing she had to do. Also, like the coin, like I said, just try to follow me. But if you don't have what you were given, and it's as simple as a token, your faith, your heart, the love you were given. You were given these protective measures to walk through this reality, the one that's going to teach you or break you, depending on how you go with the flow. You get so bitter so early on that you say, there's nothing here for me. I don't care. You know what? I'm in it to win it. Let me just take what I can get, and I'm going to die with the most toys. Because that became a new analogy in society. He with the most toys wins in the end. Where'd your coin go? Where'd your heart go? Where'd your faith go? Is there any love left? Is there any respect for others left? Do you really even appreciate yourself? Or did you just sell your soul little by little? It's like I saw Harry Potter over the weekend. It was on the TV, and how Voldemort had split his soul into so many pieces, right? Thought he would make it himself invincible, indestructible. But when people fell onto what he did, figured him out, they began to destroy him little bits at a time. And it's the same with the concept of when you give away your essence to try to obtain something that's outside of yourself. But you don't want to work for it, right? You just want to store it. You don't want to share it. It's all about me, right? A lot of people live do or die, all about me. So when it comes down to it, don't worry if you're the last. Because I will tell you, I've watched so many people around me get blessed, and I've always been genuinely happy for them. And at one point, I started feeling like, yay. I was losing enthusiasm for giving so much enthusiasm for everyone else. You deserve it. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. That's great. And as that began to die down in me, it was like the fire was dwindling down. And I'm still watching everybody else, no matter who they are, what they do, actions they choose, how they treat others, get rewarded. And I'm over here going, man, I'm a good person. I don't understand. When is it my time? Not even my time to shine, but when is it my time to get to breathe, relax? When do I have to stop saying, I'm good enough, and enough is enough? And you know what? When I finally got to that point of, I don't know where I stand anymore, kept questioning, am I a good person? Is it backwards? Do I live in a good world and I'm really the bad one? Believe me, identity crisis. And that has to do a lot with when ego is dying and spirit is arising. And these are things nobody teaches us, because honestly, most people have not gone through these phases in their life. They can't teach you something they haven't learned. So when it comes down to it, if you're questioning if you're the bad guy, if you're questioning, why is this happening to me? If there's just all these questions that put you in a place where you feel victimized, by your friends, by your family, your coworkers, you can be the hardest worker. And that's like every job I've ever had, right? I get the extra work because I'm very efficient. And at first, that always felt like a reward. Oh, you trust me. As I've gotten older, oh, you're using me. Oh, you're devaluing my worth. So as I began to see how the dark forces will place more and more on you to break you, it made me start realizing, oh, I need to grow. I need to outgrow this mindset that I need to be taught. Because for the longest time, I was told I'm the black sheep. I'm a rebel. I go against the grain. I stir up trouble. My life is chaos. I make bad choices. These are compliments I was given my entire life. And now I embrace every aspect of those backhanded compliments. Hell yeah, I'm a rough rider. Hell yeah, I'm a do or die. I even walk around calling me Moses, set my people free. And it's just who I am, the mentality of I am not here to serve you. Just like you are not here to serve anyone else. You have that one divine power, whatever name you place on it. That's who you're here to give thanks and praise to, for the freedom of getting to be yourself, for the freedom of getting to be the rebel, the one that says, you know what? I can walk alone because I shine so bright. I'm not afraid of what there is in the darkness because I will shine a light on it, bring truth to all of those that stand in that darkness. Because when you allow that to control you, when you're too busy trying to get to the front of the line, cut in line, right? Go ahead. But when you're so selfish that you can't wait patiently, just imagine that door slamming in your face. You're taken off to the side. Let me take you to the VIP room. And you never even get through. Your ego's too big to allow you to get anywhere. So if you can't wait patiently in life, if you can't endure the trials of life, don't expect to make it to reap that which is beneficial for your existence. And that can be very easily something as what you could consider small. There's not money in your hand, but now you've gained spiritual discernment, understanding, the ability to look around you and not get angry because there's nobody that can affect you because you stand so strong and powerful in who you are as a person. No matter what they say about you, they laugh at you. Who cares? Laugh with them. You got me there. Because who cares? Excuse me. It's very foggy outside, and my throat is another one of those mornings trying to wake up. My apologies. A lot of people would say someone doesn't want the message to get out. Someone's trying to block my throat chakra. It is what it is. I don't know exactly what it is. But either way, me bringing you a message of spiritual empowerment, let's say. Something to help you rise above the shadows. To help you understand that there's something greater within you that you were given. And whenever that darkness envelops you and hides your light and you can't even see who you are, what your worth is, where you stand, you have to listen to the words that your ego doesn't want to hear to understand. Take off the ego wrap, right? Let your spirit shine. And it's not an easy task, especially in a world that is enveloped in egotistical darkness. The thing that keeps us in competition. The thing that says, oh, I have to be better than you because if I'm not better than you, what am I here for? Yourself. To grow. Become your highest version of yourself possible. Because in essence, or in reality, what does it matter? If you have sold yourself off piece by piece, what did you gain? Something that wasn't tangible? Something that you can't hang on to? You don't get a reward. You don't get a ribbon. You don't get a certificate at the end that says you're the greatest. Your tombstone will say whatever your family thinks about you. So really, it doesn't matter who believes in you other than yourself. Because if you don't believe in you, you've already failed. Because everyone else is going to, no, you can't be better than me. But in the concept of what is even better? It's like I saw the other day, if you can't take care of your pet, you shouldn't have one. But that's still a concept of who's to place the value on how you're taking care of a pet. I have an animal that loves to lay in the sun and be outside, and she will push herself to the brink of just looking like she's about to overheat and exhaustion. Someone could look at me and say, you're a terrible owner for leaving her in the sun. I didn't leave her in the sun. She went and walked in the sun. She laid there. She's not even on a leash. She can get up whenever she wants and she can move around. I ensure that she has a safe place to be. She comes and goes outside on her own. She has plenty of water. She's fed when she needs to be fed. She's bathed regularly. But someone could look at me and say, Oh, but you don't take her to do this and that. You don't take her to the vet. She's not sick. It's still a concept of don't let anyone else tell you what is best for you, because you're not the same as them. You are who you are. And for you to figure out what you need in your life is where you have to see what benefits you and what sets you back. It's like I've learned I have allergies. Cheeses and dairy and certain foods get me to the it doesn't do it to other people. We're different. We all have to embrace that. We all have to stop fighting to be first. Because if you're fighting to be first, you will be last. If you can't maintain the patience to be last, you'll never know what it is to be first. You have to be willing to wait for the cake to be made, right? Or you're going to eat the dough or the batter. So it's very important to start understanding waiting is not destroying you. And I've seen this, especially in the younger generation. Shoot, in the older generation as well, there's this in-between level. I don't need to wait. I've been here the longest. I'm the most intelligent. I don't want to wait. I've been taught I can have what I want when I want it. Give it to me or I'm going to make a ruckus and nobody wants to hear the noise. But then you got the in-between. We were raised in one aspect of be patient. We were taught, but we forgot to teach them. Because I'm not going to treat them the way I was treated as a child. That's fine. Don't take all the teachings of your past. But don't misguide the next generation to not even understand that they need to wait. Wait your turn. Stop that. It's not going to kill you. Patience is a virtue. I think we've all forgotten that. That it's something that not everybody is willing to do. We're all capable. But is the willingness there? And for most people, the answer is no. For the simple fact that I'm your elder, or that's a child. What does it matter? It's still an individual in a collective society. So when we need to practice that concept of life that I don't always have to come first after you. It's just having a few little manners, right? Can we kind of bring back those things that they existed at one point? I'm sure your grandmother, your grandfather, even your great-grandparents, if you can remember them. Things they taught you. But somehow those things got pushed to the wayside because they're no longer at Thanksgiving dinner, right? They're no longer at Christmas dinner. And actually, when they went away, that whole magical part of the year went away. We struggle to get together. We struggle to have conversations that mean anything. Nobody makes time anymore. And it's sad because when they passed, they didn't take their lessons. Those lessons were buried down beneath the ego because we started to look in the world around us to see what was important. And what the world taught us was, I need to be first. Keep chasing the concept of being first because all you're doing is putting yourself last. Or you're getting the worst of the crop by pushing your way without doing the work to get further ahead in your own life because you're not competing with anybody. Like I keep trying to remind everybody, same as I remind myself daily, the only person I'm in competition with is myself. I have nothing to prove to you or anyone else. You have nothing to prove to anyone else other than yourself. Nobody's going to see you every morning with your routine or throughout your day. Nobody knows what's really going on in your mind. But the one source that does is the one you can't hide and lie from. And that seems to be the one thing everyone has forgotten. There's one true, we'll call it judge. There's just one. And I think everyone has forgotten the reality that this judge is very real. You can deny it all you want, but there's still the concept in the end, you will meet exactly who you are. Actually, all through life, you will meet exactly who you are. That's why it's called mirroring. You're meeting people that are reminding you of things you need to fix within yourself. But it's so easy to look at them and be like, God, I can't stand him or her. They always do this or they always do that, but you don't catch yourself slipping. And I remember I used to be so oblivious to who I was that I could just get hurt and cry over something someone did to me. And I also remember the day that I had to go, you do that too. Oh my God. I had to start attacking myself. I had to start adjusting my own behavior. I was reading a book when my son was still in my womb, and it was how to correct your behavior so you can raise your child right. And it was funny, I was reading that book, but I didn't want him to go through the things I was going through. And I thought if I change it early enough, it won't be there. But that's not always the concept of life. Hold on. I learned that jeans were jeans, and that's what it was. So I'm going to start my day. I'm going to leave it on that note, and I guess I'm done preaching for now. Peace, love, and light. Talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.